Over time, as you continue working with Windows 8.1, you'll be creating folders, subfolders, accumulating files, and that will make it difficult to locate certain pieces of information you might be looking for unless you know about some of the search functionality that's built right into File Explorer. We're going to take a look at it now. We'll continue working with our exercise files folder here in File Explorer. You can double click if you're getting caught up, the exercise files folder right on your desktop, or wherever it is. You can locate the File Explorer icon on the taskbar to navigate to any folder you like that might contain some files. We're going to do a little bit of filtering and searching. We'll begin with filtering down our list. Imagine that the list of files continues to grow. There's many files, and we're only interested in looking at a certain type of file. Well, in that case, when we go to the View tab, ensure Details is selected, we'll see different columns. We already know we can rearrange or sort these by clicking the column headings, for example, alphabetically by name, or reversed. Same thing for date modified, type, for example, JPEG files together, and so on. But each of these also has a drop-down. So if we went to type and click the drop-down next to type, we can pick and choose what types of files will be displayed. Maybe just our JPEG files with that selected. Everything else is still there. We're just not seeing it, so we can focus on this type of file. Maybe we want to include movie files as well, or just movie files. There's only the one. Deselect that checkbox and you're seeing everything again. We'll click in the background to close it up. Same thing goes for size. If you only want to see your huge files, you could click that checkbox, focus in on that. Maybe you're deleting your huge files. It's an easy way to locate them. Deselect when you're done. And that's just one option for filtering out different groups of files. But from the View tab, we also have the ability here to do some grouping with Group By. And we can group by size, type, but there are other options here, like tags, for example. With them grouped now, we can actually collapse the different groups to focus in on files that are of interest to us. We'll go back to Group By and choose None. And of course, we can also, if we wanted to, search for files using a number of different search tools that are available to us by clicking anywhere in the search field that appears up here in the top right corner of our File Explorer window. When we do that, check out the ribbon. It just changed. We have a new search tab, and we have a number of different options to choose from. First of all, by default, when we do a search in a folder, subfolders will be included in that search. But you can narrow it down to just the current folder if you wanted to. And notice that we have some refinement options, date modified. I'm only interested in anything that was modified within the week. So I'm going to choose this week. Okay, there they are. Go back to Date Modified, click the drop-down, make a different selection like this month. You might see a different list. Notice what's happening over here in the search field. Information's being updated here, and we can start over by clicking the X just to the right. Now we're back to all of our files. Maybe we want to narrow it down to a certain kind of file. Well, we see more options here from the kind drop-down than we saw using the column headings. So if we wanted to, for example, narrow this down to picture files, it appears on a very long list. And notice that the search field now has kind equals picture. We could have typed that in, but it was much faster to select it from the kind drop-down on the ribbon. We'll click the X to start over. We could also do it with size and with other properties like tags, for example. I want to find all the files that are tagged with the word market. So I click tags, type in market, and there's a couple there that have those tags. Again, I can start over by clicking the X. Now we can also, of course, search for file names and file contents by simply typing in the search field. We don't need to use any of these refinement options. I'm looking for anything that has the word cherry in it. So I type in cherry. I don't have to press enter. Look at that. There's only one. It has cherry in the title, Cherry Tomatoes JPEG. I'll close it up. What about contents of those files? I'm looking for the company name, ROUX. Type in ROU. Look at that. It appears inside my PDF file. Not in the file name, but actually in the file itself. So I don't have to open up the PDF, bring up the search functionality within my PDF viewer to find what I'm looking for. With File Explorer, I locate not just the file, but the contents as well. And I'm going to close that up. Now I'm going to look for all of my picture files that are of a certain size. Well, I can combine these. Let's go to Kind. We'll go down to Picture. Next, we'll go to Size. And from the size drop-down, I'm only interested in the medium ones. And there's a couple right there. Notice what's happening. They're combined up here in the search field. And if this is something I'm going to be searching for on a regular basis, as I add additional pictures and I want to group them all together, I can save this search. Click the Save Search button and give it a name. Medium Pictures or medium-sized pictures. It's up to you how you name this. And when you click Save, notice it's being saved to your searches right under your own search folder. So click Save. And now I can use that at any time. That's exactly what I'm looking at. So if I use my back button, I'll be going back to my exercise files. I can close up this search. Over time, as I add additional pictures that are of medium size, I can go back now to my search criteria just by going back up to my desktop here. Under my own name, there's searches right there, and there's my medium-sized pictures. Double-click it, and there's my two files. I'm going to go back to my exercise files using my back button all the way back, and that's search criteria. Of course, you can delete those search saved results if you wanted to by going back at any time. I'm going to go forward. Back to my account here for my searches. I'm going to right click. You could click once and delete just like you would with regular files, but this is a search that I can right click and delete to remove it as well. Back up we go. I'm going to go right to my exercise files to continue from here. So thanks to some of the search functionality built right into File Explorer, you can filter out certain types of files to focus on the files that are of interest to you, even search not just through the file names, but the contents of those files as well.